Now look, IT is created, if you like, by very worldly people. I mean, some of them love God, but they don't have to. It's not a requirement for the job. So the IT doesn't cite the authority. It assumes it is the authority, and you start to assume it's the authority. What do I do when I have a puzzle about something or other? I check it on Google. But Google is not God, surprisingly. So we need to style our IT, little soul that we're making, to say whose opinion this is. Because that's a great help to us as regards whether we accept this view or not. Now, of course, if you're managing the media, you may deliberately not cite because you're trying to manipulate, and perhaps you're trying to manipulate for a very good reason as you understand it. But that's not really a blessing. It's only a blessing if you are right. If, on the other hand, it's Marshall that suggests so-and-so and thinks this is an advantage, you think, oh, well, he's a lunatic, he believes in God, and you dismiss it straight away. And so you should, from your point of view, because you don't believe in God, perhaps, say, Or you think, well, if Marshall thinks this, that's a good reason to have a good thought. Let's have a think about this, yes. Oh, I see what he means. Do you see? It's a helpful guide to know who the author is. You may not wish to be helpful in that way because you're trying to steer people. And the people that produce the AI are trying to steer it. And even if they weren't, whoever gets hold of it and uses the AI is, it might be the state, it might be a loving dictator, it might be a malicious dictator. It could be anything, you see. So you have to be very careful how you're building the personhood of your AI technology, your machine, your computer, your robots. You need the mind of God. And you think he hasn't done a very good job if you're secular with man. So you can imagine just how hard the job is. Take that sort of backhanded argument, can you? I don't think so, but you see what I mean, don't you? It's paramount that you build into your AI technology the ethics needed for life. And for that, you need to know what they are. Religion struggled for thousands of years to try and define what the right ethics is. And by the mayhem in the world, you could say it's largely failed. Or you could say by the emergence of civilization as we identify it, that it's been fairly successful. Either way, you might seek out the wisdom of societies, not just yours, of the world in total, that you sift through it, that you find what, quite honestly, is your wisdom, according to your values. And you will live accordingly. And that's what you will birth into your AI machine. It needs to have hope and trust in principles that are going to bring life, eternal life, to the generations to come and so on. It's an incredible responsibility not to be lost in the desire to manipulate people for presented current needs. Certainly you have to survive the present or there is no future. But you must have an eye to the future as well. What are you building? What are you giving birth to? It's the same with our kids, isn't it? Are you happy when you find you've been the mother to Hitler or Stalin or Mao? I don't think so. You're desperate about the mistake you've made. Well, if you have any mind at all, I would have thought. And most of us would think that, I think, wouldn't they? Be careful of the children you're creating. The most responsible thing every parent has is that they're a parent. Do you stuff your child into a school and go out to work so you can have a second car and a bigger house and posher food on the table and holidays? You're mad. Your child's future is at stake. Homeschool him. For goodness sake, you want him to have your values, not someone else's, even though you're completely up the creek. We all are. We're kids. We know that, but the state is no safer. The state is not even a person, for goodness sake. The state is just the consequence of a history of eventualities that were way beyond its control. And it's not relating as a person, it's relating as an organization. Committees that constantly change composition and are fickle and are at the mercy of whoever's running it at the minute. It's your responsibility. They are your kids. Don't take the view they belong to the state, not me. That's the path to ruin for society. As far as we know, there have been experiments to the contrary. Hitler had a go with the Hitler Youth. I'm not sure what sort of adults they made. I dread the thought of it, but I honestly don't know. And I think every totalitarian society does it. But look, every society does it. They don't have to be totalitarian to be influencing the media, influencing all the agents of socialization like the family, the museums, the libraries, what's politically correct and, the advertising and so on. Every nation does it. You need to be on guard. You say, but then we're all on guard for different sets of values. Yes, that's true. Yes. Well, perhaps you realize then how important it is to seek peace and a harmony. That you want your kids to bring those that bring peace, not war. We've had a lot of war. We could do without it. Well, I'm not sure about that. I think God allows war so that we know how terrible it is. And we're absolutely clear in our mind we don't want that. It's all part of the training, isn't it? But don't surrender your kids to the state unless you have to, of course. That's the law. Bless them. Look after them. Love them. It's your most creative relationship. You're actually coming to know what it's like for God to be a parent of all creation. You in your little way are practicing being a parent. Don't walk away from the experience. It's an incredible blessing. It will mature you like nothing on earth. Well, like marriage does. It does mature you. Yeah, well, we won't go into that here. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.